All right, welcome everyone. We're here to cast Division B West tonight. Bronze6 taking on Spooky Ghosts, and I have Salvaje joining me as a co-caster. I'm super hyped to have her here tonight. How are you doing, Salvaje?
Hey, I'm feeling good. I'm excited for these two teams to duke it out.
Me too. I had such fun in the coin toss channel with them. They're all cracking jokes, and it seemed like these teams are just really fun to play with, probably. Let's get into these map selections here. Everyone's in the lobby ready to go. I'm going to let them know that we're ready when they are, and we'll go over these map selections while they get their readies in. So we did have Spooky Ghosts win that coin toss, and they opted to go with first pick here, meaning that Bronze6 got the map pick. Map bans for tonight will be Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow being banned out by Bronze6, Braxis Holdout and Volskaya Foundry being banned out by Spooky Ghosts. Bronze6 is choosing to bring us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 1 here. We're getting those readies in lobby, and then we should be ready to go. It does look like we're going to get right into this game at any moment here.
Okay, so this is really cute. When they asked ready, each member of Spooky Ghosts put one of the little ghost emojis, the little animated emojis. That team synergy is already there, already ready to go. Yeah, spooky. This is their month, October, spooky season. All right. They have fate on their side. Let's go.
Now, Bronze6 says Tomb of the Spider Queen is their map. So we're going to have to see what strategy they have going into this with the draft here. Anything you expect to be picked up or taken here? Anything you would prioritize?
Gazlo. I would be prioritizing Gazlo a lot. The quick rotations from top to mid, the zone control, being able to put a turret in every little entrance that there is. Definitely either expected to see it picked or banned.
Have you played any of the Gazlo since he got buffed in the patch?
I have not played him because I have zero clue how to play that hero. However, I played a lot against him, and let me tell you, he is a force to be reckoned with at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, they buffed literally everything on him this last patch to try and get him a little bit more viable of a pick here. And I have seen him picked just one time in NGS since the buff. And he didn't end up winning, but he had an amazing wombo combo that he was pulling off with Diablo. They would do the APOC combo followed up by a grab bomb, and he would just end up deleting someone in it, and it was really fun to watch. So I would love to see him picked up more so I can see how he synergizes with other heroes. And how teams make him work.
A lot of wombo potential. They do end up banning out the Diablo and Diva here on the side of Spooky Ghosts, I believe, is on the right-hand side.
Yes.
Okay, and then the Stukov was on the side of Bronze6. And there's the Gazlo ban. Get rid of that hero. He's too strong on this map.
All right, no Gazlo for game number 1 tonight. Maybe we'll see it a little bit later, because if they're banning it, there might be a Gazlo player on the side of Spooky Ghosts.
I'd be really excited to see someone over there, someone at all tonight, just showing him off.
It is going to be the Tassadar getting locked in for first pick here. I don't feel like Tassadar has fallen a little bit out of popularity with the nerfs that he has, but he still gets picked up quite frequently. I just think there's better mages these days because he's so immobile and easy to target.
Yeah, Tassadar could definitely be the jack of all trades when it comes to clear damage and being able to focus on a hero, but we do have Uther and Johanna picked on the side of Bronze6. Uther being picked up pretty early, so we don't really know if he's gonna be the solo healer in this situation or if he's gonna serve as kind of another just run up in their face and stun them like Johanna.
Anytime you're ready.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Uther's off lane. They want to do that. It's not the norm, but it can work sometimes.
Takes a while to kill those minions.
You just sit down there auto attacking on those minions, stacking your quest.
ETC and Raynor has been selected for the side of Spooky Ghosts. pretty standard coming from the side of Spooky Ghosts, where this Uther pick is what's piquing my interest.
I love that ban coming out from the side of Bronze6. They already have the Tastar and the Raynor locked in. That pretty much screams Bloodlust comp if I ever seen one. So I think that's a pretty good ban that they chose to go there.
Yeah, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen with the lanes being so small. They can just run in on you past a tower at some point. An Imperious ban. Imperious, very dominating force these days, even serving as a main tank for a lot of teams that we've been seeing in NGS as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Even with the nerfs to him on the last patch, still is getting picked up quite frequently by the teams and still a priority ban by a lot of teams.
Here we go again.
All right, it's going to be the Chromie Leoric pickup.
Heavy front line. I'd be surprised if I don't see maybe like a Mothrail being picked up on the side of Tomb of the Spider Queen, or
on the side of Spooky Ghosts.
Or sorry, Spooky Ghosts, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Hello. I'm like reading
they
everything
own this
too
map.
fast. I mean, but yeah, I would like to see something that can really shred that front line that they have showing on the side of Bronze6. Brightwing and then Phoenix. Okay.
Interesting. I think they're looking a little squishy over on the side of Spooky Ghosts. I'm a little bit nervous for them because, I mean, 3 of the members on the side of Bronze6 are already members that can just walk straight into the team and do what they want here. And all you have is really an ETC to peel for you. This might be a little rough for them.
Yeah, looking pretty ooky spooky on the side of Spooky Ghosts. And all right, Bronze6 picking up the Tychus here. So now they have something to just shred the ETC. And then they have 3 members on the side of Bronze6 to just walk into Raynor, Brightwing, and Tassadar. And then Chromie just dropping all of her damage. I'm really liking the side of Bronze6.
It's probably going to see Leoric Phoenix matchup in the bottom lane, which I think may play in favor of Phoenix. He just has that ranged ability to be able to take on Leo in that bottom lane. But in terms of team fight, they're looking pretty squishy. It is a bit scary for the side of Spooky Ghosts here. They do have some tools to help them. ETC, pretty decent at disengaging with his power slide and his face melt. The Tassadar wall can also help out, as well as Brightwing, who I wouldn't be surprised if we see her opt into Emerald Wind here. Emerald
Wind may be scary because Bronze6 has so many different types of stun them down that they can stagger. So I'm seeing a lot of wombo potential coming from the side of Bronze6 with I'm seeing an Entomb, I'm seeing a laser, maybe even an Odin, doesn't really matter what he does on Tychus. Might be seeing a Divine Storm. I mean, all of the players on the side of Bronze6 have some sort of safety feature, like to get them out of there. Chromie with her time stop, or with her lockdown. I forgot where she gets hugged by a dragon. I forgot what it's called. And then Tychus with just being completely sturdy and tanky just on his own. Leoric with the self-healing. Joanna with her shields. I can see just a crazy wombo shutting down that Emerald Wind. Or killing ETC. Maybe their goal is just to murder ETC every time.
Could be. I mean,
yourselves. The battle begins shortly. Battle begins in 10 seconds.
And on the side of the ooky spooky ghosts, we have Boundary X on Tassadar, Little Wolf on Brightwing, Eric with Hack on ETC, Kalidas on Phoenix, and Always Loses on Raynor. standard map in regards to rotates. Usually we see just rotates between top and mid with the 4-man, and then the solos sitting at the bottom with solos coming in for a gank every once in a while. We do see some heavy damage going in on the Rainer. He does heal that back up with his E. With the side of Bronze6 taking almost full control of this right-hand side of the map. A time trap, ooh, getting real close to that Rainer, but he does end up walking right through it with heavy damage dropping down. There's a time trap.
So you know how earlier I was like, oh, I forget to do like things, and it's always just like a check mark box of forgetting to do things all the time when I start these streams? Yeah, I forgot to unmute myself.
The classic. Johanna. Ooh, the right wing getting a little bit caught out here, taking some heavy damage after the Tychus Q, but she does end up flying her little wings away with the time trap landing on the Rainer with 2 Qs hitting E2C. We do see just the pattern on the side of Bronze6 where this Chromie knows where to place her time trap. She knows how to make sure they always have sight on the enemy team while keeping control of these points to see if anyone's trying to turn.
There's that ETC getting caught in the time trap. Here's some damage being dropped by the Chromie and Tychus, but Brightwing coming in for the phase shift once again, healing him back up. Look at Phoenix in this bottom lane, though. I kind of said I think that Phoenix is going to have the upper hand in the matchup between Leo and himself. And he is doing quite well down here. Look how low Juji's getting. They're going to have to respond to that. Here comes the stun from the Uther, followed up by the Tychus damage. And that's going to be first blood going over in favor of Bronze6.
That scary Uther, he's just coming out of the shadows, hammering down your Phoenix teleports. And with that kill, they end up getting the bottom siege. Tychus just sitting here shooting away, but they do have this bruiser camp pushing in their mid that's actually getting, you know, pretty good damage on their front wall.
I mean, this is the thing, if you just kind of put a lot of resources in that bottom lane to get that pick onto Phoenix and get that siege camp, and they're kind of getting value with that bruiser camp in mid because of it, getting a little bit of damage onto this mid wall. ETC power sliding in onto that Joanna and getting quite punished for it. A lot of health back down on him, and we're going to see the phase shift once again going out onto the ETC. Kind of feels like that phase shift is just always up on cooldown to save him. Leo coming up for the rotation. He does land that life drain onto the Rainer, and he's going to go down here. Tychus ultimately the one securing the kill there.
Nice. I actually missed that kill, but we got a little glimpse of how ETC has to be really particular with these Qs because of that Tychus damage. Look at him. He's just chasing him and shredding him down right now, and all he's trying to do is get to the mid lane. Let him go, Tychus. Let him go.
We do see now Bronze6 getting that first turn in of the game, and level 7's online here. I'm interested to see if they're going to push the top lane. So that's typically where teams like to go on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Open up that top lane for future boss play.
And it looks like you're exactly right. They're going ahead pushing in. Spooky Ghost going to be defending the middle spider. Very quick with that Rainer Executioner on one, and the Tassadar just general damage on the creeps. Or not Executioner, I am so sorry. Exterminator. And we do have Johanna W going in onto ETC and Tassadar, but he does W her right back, pushing her away with them just continuing to try to clear down this spider so that way they can save their top fort.
I love what Joanna did there. Really tried to stall them on the rotation there so they could get as much value out of the spider and the people pushing on this top fort. I think that's just, it's pretty standard good way to play your tanks, is catch them on the rotation, slow them down a bit, get your team to get as much value as you can out of that spider. So I love to see that. Polymorph going out onto the Tychus here, followed up by the power slide, does pop that Gladiator's medallion. The damage being traded here is just a lot back and forth. A lot of members on the side of Spooky Ghost getting quite low here. We have the Temporal Loop connecting onto the Rainer. He's going to pop that Unstoppable, but ultimately going to get picked off by the Joanna here.
Really nice play there on the side of Bronze6. It actually looked like it might have been going over to Spooky Ghost with their engage, but ETC does end up queuing onto the Tychus. He does try to get as much damage as he can. Tychus getting healed up by the Uther with ETC falling to the Chromie damage. What a turnaround. The Uther coming in, just making sure that Tychus stays alive.
Yeah, and with that, Bronze6 already a level up on Spooky Ghost, about to hit their level 10s. They don't have turn-in quite yet. Spooky Ghosts still have turn-in up and available, but I have a feeling they're going to want to hold that turn-in until they have their level 10s now. If they were to turn in now, well, Bronze 6 is so close to having their 10s, it'd be pretty much a wasted turn in as they'd be able to defend it pretty easily with their ultimates up.
We do have the War Loop falling onto the Rainer. He stepped a little too far there, and Chromie made sure to punish it. He does end up falling almost instantaneously to the Uther stun and the damage.
And with that level 10s online for Bronze 6, we do see Johanna talenting into Blessed Shield and Tomb coming out from the Leoric. Odin being picked up by the Tychus. We already saw Temporal Loop used a couple times to secure some kills here. And Uther waiting to pick up his ult here. We are going to see the gank attempt onto the Leoric bottom, but he's easily Wraith walking out of there and he's going to survive.
Ooh, this Uther is debating. He's debating. He said, should I just go all in and go Divine Storm? And he does end up going Divine Shield, which is still a powerful, powerful ultimate. Being able to just have them completely, fully commit to one character and then...
Look at this. This looks like a nice Entomb coming here. Brightwing going to get caught in this Entomb. That's going to be the target focus here. They do get the pick onto her. Tassadar getting quite low, eating a couple of Chromie's Dragon's Breath there. But that means this is going to be this bottom camp going over to the side of Bronze 6. Level 10s now online for Spooky Ghosts. We do see Tassadar talenting into Black Hole. Here comes a Blessed Shield onto the ETC, followed up by the Temporal Loop. He is going to cleanse that, though, with his Gladiator's Medallion and be able to walk away here.
Nice. These fights have been so well coordinated on the side of Bronze 6. And Spooky Ghost trying their best to get these engages. Just missing that last itty bitty little bit of damage to fully commit to one kill, which I think Phoenix is definitely going to help complete those kills when he starts joining these fights.
So we do have Tassadar talenting into Black Hole, Brightwing taking that Blink heal, Mosh coming out from the ETC. We have Phoenix talenting into Purification Salvo, and the Rainer taking Hyperion. I'm hoping that they don't have some counter synergy with that Mosh and Black Hole.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a little more difficult to predict when Mosh is going to be coming down, because, you know, Moshes are almost instinctual. You just kind of got to grab it when you can. And we do see Bronze 6 rotating here down in middle a little aggressively. Johanna throwing down her W. Leoric coming in, trying to see if he can get an Entomb. Decides not a great position, so he's going to come right back down with the rest of the team.
He did manage to secure that top fort. Spider's still pushing up here, so I think this is a beautiful call to go bottom. It's the furthest away from the Spider that they need to take care of immediately. It's going to give them a lot of space to clear up this bottom lane, take down this fort. And then maybe, you know, either back up to defend the turn-ins here or even quickly cap their bruiser camp before they can have the turn-in cooldown come off. Level 13s are also online for Bronze 6 here, so it really much does feel like they're in control of this game.
Yeah, for sure. And they do end up picking up the bruiser camp on the side of Spooky Ghosts. Bronze 6 turning in what they got. They don't have turn in just yet, but they just want to dump these coins in case they get into another fight. Make sure they don't have any risk to be going in to these fights. And we do have Hyperion popped out here to try to push them back off of this mid lane. Just trying to relieve some pressure because they do have ETC up top, and they know that Bronze 6 knows that. So I just kind of want to push them away and just get them away from them. And ooh, they're keeping an eye on this Tassadar and Brightwing getting caught by the time trap. Going to be comboed just a little bit by Chromie. Chromie's going to be backing up, try to poke in on these turn-ins.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Bronze 6 is okay with them getting the turn in right now. You know, they're more putting priority on this bruiser camp right now and leaving some poke. Like, if they can delay it, great, but if they get it, not a big deal. But they're doing an amazing job delaying it and almost getting the pick onto ETC here. Leoric going in for the Entomb. He does land that onto Rainer. Rainer being the target here, and he is going to fall. Beautiful job by that Leoric there. Phase shift coming out onto the ETC from Brightwing to heal him up and trying to defend this mid now. In terms of turn-in, I mean, Spooky Ghost still has that turn-in, and Bronze 6 not too far off from having another one themselves.
And we do see Leoric coming in on the back line. ETC does end up sliding him. Leoric taking a lot of damage from this tower, doing some big damage onto there. This ETC might be trying to look for a Mosh, but he does have 32 gems, so he just wants to try to get this turn-in. And Uther, sensing that, coming down here to check, literally touching butts next to one another. ETC is just going to try to back off because he knows that they're there now. And he has, I think, the most gems.
Here's the thing. Spooky Ghost kind of needs to try and take a fight right now. Otherwise, they're going to be waiting a long time to be on equal talent tiers. Level 16 is not too far off for Bronze 6 here. Is Brightwing getting caught here? He's going to blink heal out of there, though. to safety. Tassadar now, 2-man Entomb landed onto the Tassadar and the Rainer. Tassadar manages to sneak away through, but here comes a temporal loop onto him. They are focusing him down. He's going to keep trying to walk out here. Joanna has her eyes on that task, but Tassadar surviving. She's going to get the ult from Uther to back up herself. No kills so far in this engagement.
Wow. How did Tassadar live? That was so good. He did end up popping his Gladiator's medallion and trying to walk out from the Entomb, and ends up throwing the black hole behind him to heal for the rest of him, with Brightwing just ulting her little life away on top of him. So good on the side of Spooky Ghosts.
Yeah, I don't know how you land a 2-man Entomb on the squishiest members of their team and they all survive somehow, but good for them. Tassadar, though, in trouble once again. ETC coming in to peel for him. He is being able to back out. Blink heals connecting onto him to get him healed up. Rainer taking a little bit of damage from that Leoric, and here comes a phase shift to kind of heal the Tassadar back up again. Turn-in is now up and available for Bronze6. They have those level 16s, so this is going to be Spooky Ghost doing a defense. Talent tier down here.
Oh man, this is looking ooky spooky for the little ghosties, but if they made it, ooh, we do have a little rotation coming on, but Tassadar does sense it. He says no thank you, but Leoric ended up catching the ETC. ETC already used his slide. He's gonna get fully comboed by the Chromie. That is dropping 40 gems. Is anyone able to pick them up? They're going to try. Oh, Brightwing managed to catch just one, but she does blink right back onto the Tassadar for safety. So she does end up getting 22 gems out of those 40 that he dropped, or however it's split.
I think that they have enough turned in already that that'll be enough to get them a turn in if they can defend this. But again, they need to try and catch up in that XP right now. They're 2 levels down. Not having 16 and not having their forts to fall back into makes it really hard to get these turn-ins.
Odin being popped down here by the Tyke as they are going to fully commit onto this keep as they should. They want to get this keep down. This could possibly go for the win if they get another pick. Leoric Spooky ghosting all his way all over.
He does have that Entomb back up here now, so we might see that dropped in just a moment, and if he can find an ideal target.
All right, they do end up backing up, but now they have that bot lane opened up, ready for whatever engage they end up going for. It looks like they are making a boss call here and gonna try to shred this down. Let's see if Spooky Ghosts, how they react to it.
Looks like Spooky Ghost is just going to look to clear up their lanes and still get that 16. They can't really do anything down a talent tier right now. Although ETC's starting to walk up there, maybe in hopes that they'll get 16 and be able to contest this. But unfortunately for them, that is going to be Bronze6 grabbing that boss here. And here comes Leo, Wraithwalking, landing the Entomb onto ETC once again. Focus going out onto him. Here comes the phase shift from Brightwing to heal him up, and the Black Hole to disengage for the ETC. But Blessed Shield's out, connected onto a couple members of Spooky Ghost, and they're on the run here. Juji is up there trying to get the slows and damage out onto them with his Leo. Rainer getting focused down. Temporal Loop going out onto him, but he popped the Unstoppable way too early there, and he ends up getting rewinded anyway. Down goes the Rainer.
Oh, this is looking like a push onto the keep. The boss is very, very healthy. So it looks like they can try to go for the win here, but Johanna taking a ton of damage from that keep is going to pop that shield. They're like falling back to the Phoenix. Oh, Tychus getting queued on by the Tassadar, but they do end up making the decision to back out, with Chromie giving them a little time stop and pinging her own teammates. Nice. We do get some core damage onto Spooky Ghosts with 69. Nice.
I kind of gotta hand it to the Leoric here. He's been landing a lot of game-changing Entombs here that are really helping his team secure these kills. And even if they don't get kills off of the Entomb, it's enough that a lot of ults have to be blown on the side of Spooky Ghosts for them to survive.
Yeah, for sure. And always managing to even just pick off the ETC after he uses his Q. He's keeping an eye on that and knows that once ETC uses his Q, he doesn't really have much besides face melt to try to peel them off of him. But with the Chromie damage and the Chromie combos, he just takes so much damage and they just have to retreat.
Here he is Wraith walking out of here.
Cleaning up the lane, literally.
He did go Wraithwalk talents at 13 and 16, so he really has a nice long walk to get out of there when he's overextended in these situations. It's working out pretty well for him, for not only escaping, but also engaging onto Spooky Ghosts here.
And we do see Spooky Ghosts going down to clear off this camp, these 2 catapults as well, with Bronze6 realizing this. Chromie laying down a time trap, getting ready to see if they decide to rotate back through that hallway.
This is really their last opportunity to try and force a fight here before level 20s are online for Bronze6, and they're kind of playing it a little bit slow. I don't think they're going to be able to get that fight in. There's level 20s hit on the side of Bronze6.
We do have Buried Alive from that Entomb, so those really nasty Entombs that were hitting before are going to hit even harder now.
That's exactly it. I just feel like Leoric, no matter what build he goes, level 20 is just like the power spike, and if you don't beat him before then, these team fights get infinitely harder.
For sure, and we do have Odin pops here. They are going to be pushing down this keep. ETC looking to possibly try to get a mosh or just do something here to prevent them from getting this keep. And we do have Leoric ghost walking in. He is taking a peek at this ETC, but he does look like he's just going to drain hope and walk away.
He's just there to be a little spooky ghost.
Mm-hmm. The spooky ghost against the spooky ghost. Oh man, the tables have turned.
Does look like Bronze6 is going to be able to take this mid keep here, so everything, all structures down on the side of Spooky Ghosts, and that core damage sitting at 69% right now.
Nice.
I think they're just looking for a nice Entomb or something to land to finish out this game. They're not really in any rush to back up here. As long as they're not taking core damage, they're pretty happy to sit around where these keeps used to be.
Yeah, this Bronze6 game to win, but we do see Rainer pushed up very far forward. He is going to jump on that horse, try to mount his way out of there. And he does end up running away with ETC trying to distract Black Hole coming out from the Tassadar. ETC stunned forever with an N2 falling up onto the Tassadar, silencing him. And now he does end up falling. A time loop does go onto the Brightwing. She does end up cleansing it with her Gladiator's Medallion, but a second time loop comes out just fine because she's in the Nexus. And now we just have a really, really, really hard defense coming out from 3 members of the side of Spooky Ghosts.
It's always rough to...
Yeah,
this is going to be Bronze6 taking game number 1 of this series. It's always a rough game when you're sitting on literally like 3 turn-ins worth of gems, but you just can't find the space to get them turned in. So I really feel for Spooky Ghosts in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Always feels just, you know, if you just get a turn in, just one turn, and you might be able to turn this back around. But if you don't go in for those fights on same talent tier to try to force that turn in, you're just going to be fighting on the back burner the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at the deaths this game, 11-1. Leoric doing a little bit of feeding there. Just I mean, you just want to get a little bit of trait value at least once, right?
Exactly. He just, he knows what his heroes is good for at this point. But that Tychus damage in those kills, he did end up going 7-0, pumping out 41k damage, being the top in the entire game. Definitely with that focus on the ETC and just being able to shred their one and only tank, their one and only peel. Once you get rid of that, what can you really do? Especially if that wins.
It's a tough game. I mean, even if they picked more frontline, which I think probably would have helped, the Leoric Tychus is just going to shred through that anyway. But it did feel like it didn't matter who they were targeting. The whole team just felt really squishy and killable in game number 1. I'm not really a fan of having an offlaner that's not a bruiser or something that has like a health pool, because a lot of these maps you're playing in, there's some kind of objective with a couple different points of entry that the enemies can walk through to kind of like stall or catch you on. And if you don't have your tank setting up in one position and your offlaner that is able to at least stall them out and not just get deleted setting up in the other entry point, it makes it really hard to get turn-ins, or let's say you're playing on Cursed, it makes it really hard to channel a trib. Whichever map, there's always some kind of objective where it's just better to have a second front line to kind of help zone for your team and play the map objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And then as a tank, sometimes you just feel so alone without a bruiser, and you're like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do have the game up. We're going to be heading into Battlefields of Eternity.
All right. let's get into that lobby. And we'll go over those map picks for you guys here in just a moment. I just want to apologize once again for my muted mic. It's just one of those days, I guess. I'm not sure who picked this yet because I don't have the ban pick selected yet. Let's just ask them.
I also realized it's not Eric with tack. It's Eric with a K, and I'm an idiot. I'm like, what is this name?
All right, it does look like Bronze6 chose this map, meaning that Spooky Ghost opted for first pick after losing that first game here. We are going to Battlefield of Eternity.
Yes.
All right, let's hop over to these map selections. I'll give you a rundown of how we got, where we are, where we're going. Game number 1 played on Tomb of the Spider Queen. That map picked by Bronze6, also won by them. Game number 2, Spooky Ghost opting to go for the first pick option and giving map pick once again over to Bronze6. We are going to Battlefield of Eternity for game number 2. If you're curious about those map bans, Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow were banned out by Bronze6, Braxis Holdout, and Volskaya Foundry banned out by Spooky Ghosts. So we won't be seeing those maps tonight.
Man, a lot of people really don't like Braxis. I see it banned constantly.
I don't think I've
games.
seen a Braxis game yet this season. Like, out of all the games I've casted, and I think I've casted like 25 series, I don't think any of them have gone to Braxis.
Wow. I can see it. It's so snowbally. So it's like, it's such a stressful game if you do lose. Like, the first objective can be so incredibly impactful. So I get it. I would love to see more diversity in these maps.
I'm excited to see what they take here. I had a little bird kind of whisper in my ear that they like to do Mimi things if they do well in game number 1. So maybe we're going to see some Mimi things coming out from the side of round 6.
Oh, this is a Mimi map. 100%.
We're sounding like we don't know how to pronounce meme properly.
I know. I'm my mom. What's a Mimi?
All right. We are just waiting for those readies from the teams here before we get into game number 2. Anything that you would be looking to target ban after game? We didn't see it in game number 1, but still Gazla.
Oh, it's Gazla. But after game 1, that Chromie was very dominant. Every time CC went out, she had her combo down on lock. And she's still very well rounded, even on BOE. As long as you get a proper quick immortal burn, like, she can help burn it just fine, like any other mage.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I think that Chromie would be a great ban for Spooky Ghost going into this game. She has amazing poke around Immortal. Even if they manage to zone off Bronze6, she can still poke it down from quite a distance. The Joanna as well, I think, is a pretty decent ban on this map because she can really stall out the Immortal burn while the rest of her team races with her blinds. But it is going to be the Uther being banned by the side of Spooky Ghost.
Uther was a very dominant force in being able to follow up whatever his tank was putting down. So those stuns on stuns on stuns on stuns can be exhausting to deal with. And especially if the side of Spooky Ghost prefer to have a range damage on this solo lane, that's definitely a wonderful ban in regards to their comps.
Stukov being banned out once again. We saw that ban coming out from Bronze6 in game number 1. They're still sticking with that here. They're still going to stick with the Diablo pick. We're going to see D.Va now? They left D.Va up.
Oh no, they're still on the second ban from what I see.
Yeah. But, I mean...
I see what you're saying for first pick. Yes.
They banned D.Va last pick, Spooky Ghost, when they had first pick. So
And
I'm
they
interested
did
if they're going
ban-
to try and grab it here if it's left up.
they banned one of her biggest counters, Stukov. Yep, Stukov's a huge counter to D.Va with the silence and the push onto her mech. And they do also ban Li Ming, who also gets a reset off of a D.Va mech and can be considered a counter into a D.Va. So,
I mean, they were joking too in coin toss that they had some like ridiculously high level D.Va. I mean, I don't know if they're being serious or not, but maybe we'll see D.Va getting picked up. Oh, they're gonna steal the Chromie.
Steal the Chrome stuff.
I love when teams do this. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna take all your picks from last match, and then we won't have to deal with it. Screw banning them.
But we do have D.Va swiped up from Bronze6 and the Greymane. Both those picks very, very strong in any kind of comp that they get formed into. So I'm excited to see what's gonna be coming out on Bronze6.
Yeah, I love those pickups. It doesn't really give a ton away about the draft here. Mind you, it does mean that there's a potential for them to get choked on healers or tanks right now, as they haven't locked in those on the side of Bronze6. And we already see Stukov and Uther banned out, as well as Diablo. And now the tank and healer being picked up by Spooky Ghost, it really just allows them to, whatever they feel like they need to ban out to choke that role.
I really like the Anduin and Garrosh into this. Just with, if they do end up going Light Bomb with the Garrosh, it provides a second engage for Garrosh and a second stun and lockdown for Garrosh, which can really benefit onto that Greymane, especially with the Chromie Mage Power. And we do see Raynor getting banned on the side of Bronze6, just denying that burn, especially with, I keep saying the wrong name, Exterminator. I always call it Executioner. But Exterminator on this map is extremely strong in regards to burn.
Not Paradox in chat saying that Smoochie's a really good D.Va, or I should say Juji. He goes by a man of many names, you know? But so that might be a bit of a problem for Spooky Ghost to deal with here. They do have to ban out that Joanna, so they are going to do a little bit of tank choking here. We're going to have to see what Bronze6 picks up here now that those tanks are all banned out. Whoa. All right. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
This went somewhere else, but I see where it's going. I'm picking up what they're putting down. I'm seeing the Garrosh throw with Light Bomb. Oh, you threw my teammate all the way into the deep end? Here's a portal. Let him right back out. So I see, and the Protect completely shuts down that what Garrosh does, that initial engage, that throw over the side. Like, I really like the Medivh into this.
All right, it's gonna be the Cassia Sonya to round out the draft of Spooky Ghosts here. Yeah, I don't hate it. Oh no.
Die to dash!
Have you ever seen the team that took Abathur Medivh and set up like double portals with the Stitches and gorged and just like portaled all the way across the map to their core?
Oh my god, the long distance dash. I would love to see that. I am excited to see what's going to happen in these games. We see a pretty standard comp coming out from the side of Spooky Ghosts. And they're looking to win the objective. They're looking to fight when they can. They're not looking for anything crazy. They're just trying to win the game. But Bronze6, on the other hand, they're looking to entertain us. And I am so excited to see what they're going to do.
I mean, I did warn us going into this game that someone told me if they did well in game number 1, we might see some meme type stuff coming up here. And I think they're delivering a bit. Just a bit. I'm excited. I am interested to see just how this plays out on this map in particular for them. I feel like 2-lane map, you're fighting a lot in those immortal areas. There's not as many opportunities to drop someone behind a fort wall or keep. Mm-hmm. But here we are, game number 2. Let me get this overlay correct. Between Bronze6 and Spooky Ghost, we have Bronze6 on the left-hand side with Danny on the Stitches, Farad on the Tyrande, CRT playing the Greymane, Juji on the Diva, and I can't read the Medivh's name. Kira.
And
Kira.
on the side of spooky ghosts, we have Boundary X on Cassia, Kalidas on Chromie, Little Wolf on Anduin, Always Loses on Sonya, and Eric with a K on Garrosh.
All right. It's pretty much what we're expecting with the Sonya Diva in the solo lane here. The rest matching in the bottom lane for a 4-man. Lots of damage being traded onto the tanks here. Got that hook coming out onto the Cassia. She's going to pop that unstoppable. And now Danny getting thrown in on the Stitches. Portal comes out to save him, and he's out of there. Easy peasy. What a great pick into the Garrosh here for the Medivh.
Yeah, the Medivh knows how to play this game, and he's sitting there flat around, dropping his sprays. Danny's still pretty low. He does need some help coming in, but Garrosh does see him, does end up tossing him to the background. Protect goes falls onto Danny, but again, the portal. And a hook falling onto Little Wolf. Little Wolf does almost fall to the Grey Mane. And big damage from Chromie, denying that kill. So we saw there the power of the Chromie and the Cassia. Like, if they do decide to engage onto a hook target, there's a lot of damage coming right back.
Oh, Danny getting tossed in here. Medivh save out again, shield and the portal down. This is 3 times now that he's managed to save the Stitches getting thrown in here.
Yeah, we're seeing a pattern. And I like it. We do see Medivh just scouting out, usually in bird form. A hook does end up falling onto Little Wolf. Little Wolf getting followed up with a Tyrande stun. Does take a lot of damage, but does end up walking away just fine, healing himself up. Eric with K landing those stuns, and Danny just trying his best to continue putting on the pressure, making sure that they know those hooks are coming.
You know what I do like about having a Medivh into a Garrosh is you sometimes see these comps where they're afraid to step up into the Garrosh, but having the Medivh there is going to allow your team to play a little bit more aggressively without the fear of like just getting murdered by a toss. Well, we are about 30 seconds away from this objective here, so we're going to see both teams go to their bruiser camps here. Greymane and Tyrande on the side of Bronze6, and we have Anduin and the Cassia on the side of Spooky Ghost, and they're still battling it out here down in the bottom. Stitch is taking a bit of damage. And how is the Medivh doing on stacks here? 21 stacks.
Yeah, he's getting there. And so top lane actually, Sonya got fairly low and Diva almost got the kill. However, we do see that Diva's mech has died enough to equal a full kill, resulting in a slight level lead on the side of Spooky Ghost. We gotta be careful with those Diva mech, the mech dying too much, because it could feed them quite a bit of XP.
All right, those bruiser camps pushing in those lanes here while the Immortals are up. CRT getting quite low. He is in his Worgen form. He's going to roll out of there to safety. The Gladiator's Medallion being popped on Stitches. Portal there to save him, and he's out of there. Another save by the Medivh.
This Medivh ain't playing around. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And we do have a hook coming out onto the Sonya. Danny fairly low to be hooking around. He does end up getting thrown by the Garrosh. Fully Chromie comboed, but does get negated by the Medivh shields. And he's going to go ahead and take that portal to get into a safe space with CRT coming in for a final little swipe. With Spooky Ghosts getting the Immortal on the halfway point.
I'm just so impressed by the Medivh plays. I wasn't expecting, typically a Medivh pretty high skill level hero. And I mean, B West gets up there pretty decent players, but he's really making a lot of saves here. They might not win this Immortal, and I don't even know if this comp is going to end up playing out best for them on this map, but it's enjoyable to watch either way.
It is a pretty hefty shield Immortal at this point. We are having some safer play. We are having some safer plays on the side of Medivh. Simply because he wants to get those stacks real quick. He's at 35 right now. All he needs is 5 more, and then he'll be able to really go in and try to do that damage. But we do have Diva falling fairly low, and Sonya falling just as low, but she does end up walking away. With Spooky Ghost deciding to push top lane instead of the lane with the Immortals.
I love that Medivh is up here getting his stacks. There's all 5 of them here for him to get them onto, and we are going to see him finish out his level 1 quest here. 5 minutes into the game. Just
There
in
you go.
time for it to get tossed and killed. Perfect timing. He's like, okay, I can
Perfect
int now.
There's
They-
literally a switch in Medivh players' heads. Like, I got my stacks, go in!
So we are going to see a trade here. It looks like the members of Bronze6 pushing down that bottom fort while top fort is being sieged up by Spooky Ghost on their side here. Juji kind of hanging around, doing some annoying things as D.Va, being a typical D.Va player. But ultimately, we're going to see probably both these forts fall, as it does look like Bronze6 is making short work of that bottom fort with the Grey Mane down in the bot lane. D.Va, though, getting in a bit of trouble. We are going to see her getting picked off here.
We do see Kira just harassing the backline a little bit. Doesn't end up going to bird form. Stalling just enough time so that they couldn't rotate onto the bottom fort to try to save it. So both forts end up falling. Even trade here, even XP level that we have going on both sides of the team. With Spooky Ghost now just getting, or Bronze6 now just getting this bottom siege camp.
All right.
Spooky Ghost doing the same. Oh my gosh, this is the mirror we're watching. Mirror match.
Yeah, and this is the next Immortal getting ready to spawn in here in 22 seconds. That means these bruiser camps are not going to be up and available for these teams to grab before they spawn in. But we'll have to see. Sometimes, they go to the right sides on halftime, and we'll see the teams pick up the bruiser camp to be pushing for second half of Immortal.
And here we have the Medivh scouting out Spooky Ghost. With Eric with the K being right up in the face of Stitches. Takes a little bit of damage, ends up walking away. Bronze6 actually taking a little bit more damage from that Chromie poke. Eric with the K being focused down by the D.Va, with Stitches hanging out on the right-hand side here, and D.Va just pushing them away from their Immortal. So Spooky Ghost is going to try to get this Immortal as fast as they can and just poke it down with that Chromie damage. With Danny coming up, trying to land that hook, does end up getting thrown by the garage. Protects falls from the Medivh. Medivh portal comes down. Very short portal, but hey, it works out. And Danny does end up coming out safe and sound.
Does look like D.Va's trying to soak for that level 10 right now in the bottom lane, so that is level 10s now online for the side of Bronze6. We do have that Gorge as expected. It is going to be the Starfall being picked up by Tyrande. Micro missiles from the D.Va go for the throat by the Grey Mane, and Leyline getting picked up by the Medivh here. And here comes the Gorge, followed up by the Portal. Anduin in the back line now of Bronze6. We have the Mech Bomb being used as well just to zone all of the members out. Leyline coming out, connecting onto two members of Spooky Ghost here. Garrosh gonna pop his Gladiator's medallion and walk away. Actually, he might have used his Indomitable because he did go unstoppable at level 4 as well. So he has two cleanses for himself here.
Oh my, the Dyna Dash, we get to see it, but we do see the cube from Sonya going into Tyrande with some followed up with damage from Cassie, but the shields from Medivh ends up saving her. Sonya using her leap to try to get away, but Medivh is following up with that portal, and they're going in for the kill. And will Sonya live? She gets him saved by the Anduin leap of faith, with Garrosh falling a little bit behind, but throwing out the taunt, followed up by the Chromie damage, and both sides walking away with no deaths.
I really like Spooky Ghost's teamwork there. Everybody was just ready to give their all to save their teammates here. Judy is getting thrown into the back line here. The shield comes out to protect him, but he is going to pop out of his mech. There was the stun to kind of stall him here, but here comes Cassia thrown into the back line, and they do manage to find that kill onto the D.Va here. But look at this. Sonya being kidnapped and gorged, portaled away. They get the counter pick onto Spooky Ghost here. And Immortal almost dead. Need to be a bit careful. Garrosh almost getting caught, but stunned from the Tyrande. Gonna peel for him, and they allow him to get a little bit of damage onto the side of Spooky Ghost. Here comes Danny getting tossed in once again. Grey Mane going in for that kill onto the Garrosh, but not quite able to find it. Let's see if they can finish off the Immortal, though. Leyline is out. That's going to create a little bit of space for them, and they do manage to kill the Immortal. This is going to be the first Immortal for Bronze6 here, and they're portaling out now, going to Hearth to reset.
Wow.
We are going to see this Immortal pushing top, as that's where the fort is left. They already managed to clear that bottom fort last time when they traded with Spooky Ghost. But everyone backing here means that Spooky Ghosts are going to be able to get a lot of damage onto this Immortal before anyone is here to help push it with it.
We do see them coming up now. Little Owl just ended up hitting Eric with the K with the hook coming out onto the Little Wolf. And here comes the Dyna Dash. Oh, but Garrett! Tonight, he said you have to pay for your food, bro! back into the team with the counter kill possibly back onto the Kira, but he does end up walking away, and Anduin does end up falling. Oh, wonderful try to counterplay either side of Garrosh. They just had so much pressure from the D.Va and from the Gray main that Anduin did end up falling, unfortunately.
Yeah, and even though they had a lot of time to try and get this Immortal down, they managed to take that top forward and even get some decent damage onto the front wall of top. Keep toss going out onto the Stitches here. Here comes the portal to save him, and he's out of there. Once again, Medivh saving lives. Now here's the thing though, is during all of that, Sonya wasn't with them for the defense, so she was able to push down that bottom fort. Here comes the hook. It's going to land onto the Garrosh. He's going to pop that Unstoppable Leap of Faith coming out from the Anduin, going to heal him up as well here, and he's walking right back in looking for the engage.
Also, kudos to the Tyrande in these instances. It's really hard to land a stun onto Stitch's hook sometimes because the Stitches just runs instinctually. But she's been landing a stun right after the Stitches hook.
Leyline is up here. It does look like they're going to go for the camp invade. Chromie time trap out. Just kind of hanging around here. They do have the level 13 talent advantage, and I think they just kind of scared off Spooky Ghost for the moment, and we'll see Spooky Ghost coming back in and finish that camp. Medivh still keeping his eyes on that, though. Like he said, he does have that ley line up, so if they all clump up on this camp, he could just, you know, drop that ley line and snipe it, but he's going to let them have that camp.
Yeah, at this point, Bronze6 has the lanes pressured. They still have their camps up. Spooky Ghost got their camp a little bit earlier than the objective, so they may be able to clear it just in time for their camp to provide even additional pressure, while also capping the bottom siege giants. So we do have a lot of wave pressure against the side of Spooky Ghost.
I mean, even though Bronze6 are up a talent here, and here comes that ley line camp steal here, and he's going to portal out of there. Kira on this Medivh is just a pleasure to watch. I love the plays we're seeing coming out from him. Or her. I don't know what gender they are, but
they know what they're doing, and they're feeling confident. They knew that they could get that camp steal really sneakily. They did a great job. And again, this lane pressure preventing Spooky Ghosts from being able to come in and try to defend their Immortal. They have to clear these lanes. Or try to get a quick fight.
And Bronze6 was able to clear up the Bruiser camp on the side of Spooky Ghost that was pushing top as well. So now that siege camp that we saw Medivh steal is going to start to threaten that top keep as well. Here comes the Gorge once again. They're going to toss in by the toss the Stitches in by the Garrosh. And we're just seeing an all-out brawl in this tiny little choke point. Do have the Tyrande ult coming out as well. It does look like Sonya getting quite low, tries to pop the Unstoppable, but that's not going to save her. She does go down here at 1-0 in favor of Bronze6, and the race is on this Immortal.
That looked like a very scary fight for Bronze6, but they ended up turning the tide of that fight with those massive Tyrande heals, and with the Tyrande damage just pounding down onto Spooky Ghost. They were able to get the kill a lot faster than Spooky Ghost could.
Medivh just keeping eyes on wherever Spooky Ghosts go here.
Let the burning hells atone for their sins. I shall march.
We do see
chat saying Kira is a man. All right, there we go.
And we do see a ton of damage going down onto Eric with the K. He does end up having to retreat behind his wall, focusing the tiny Anduin heals. I love the owl onto your. Ooh, we do see a sneaky hook coming over with Medivh trying to provide that sight to try to get those long fishing hooks to land. It does miss just by a little bit. Garrosh coming in trying to defend his fort. This is still very, very healthy Immortal, so it's going to continue to pushing in. And we do see the portal going down, Dynadash going down onto the Sonya, and Medivh being able to pour it down, but Sonya leaps with the face. She ends up traveling across the entire screen to safety. They did the opposite of Dynadash.
I mean, luckily they do have that Anduin on the side of Spooky Ghost to kind of counter some of this play, and I think Garrosh has adapted very well to what they're trying to pull off on the side of Bronze6, saving his toss to try and toss the Stitches once he gorges. Unfortunately, in that position, you know, he was on the wrong side of the keep there, so there was enough space for them to portal in and get the gorge onto Sonya, but she was able to leap out there, and now we're going to see the Garrosh getting picked off by the D.Va. The ley line coming out from Medivh, and the rest of the members getting a bit chased down here as focus turns onto this top keep.
And we do see pings landing onto the top keep to say, focus this keep down. They want to get all these lanes prepared for the next objective to possibly go for the win here.
Now, so I need to be careful though. Level 16s are online or Spooky Ghost. If they want to try and like save the game, a good time to do it is while you're fighting under your own keep. But instead, it's going to be Sonya once again getting gorged portaled. She has that leap to save her though. I know that's not Paradox's. That's not Paradox's favorite Sonya talent to take at level 10. I'm joking. He hates leap, but I mean it's kind of working for her here.
It's helping her live, and
Yeah.
I think that's the goal right now, is just to stay alive to try to defend its immortal and try to push these waves back out, because Sonya is one of their biggest wave clears and one of the only heroes that can survive.
The thing is, though, is
gorgeous
if you're
portal.
using an ultimate ability every time as an escape, you're not getting very much value off of it either. And it's not like there's a ton of CC on the side of Bronze 6. She could easily spin to win in the backline of Bronze 6. There's a Tyrande stun and like a hook to interrupt, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And the hook we just saw did land on the Anduin. She got Tyrande stunned and ended up falling, with Cassia falling very shortly. Garrosh getting very low here, does end up getting some self-healing from that Q, but does end up falling. And Chromie and Sonya, the last ones to try to defend their core here, but we do see a portal straight into the core. And we're seeing a core call here. Let's see if Chromie and Sonya can just pull the defense by themselves. It's gonna be tough.
Here we go, Gorge out onto Sonya once again, and Stitches is just gonna hold her in place, trying to get some core damage. She's gonna have to leap out of there, stand in base to get healed up, and this is the core quickly falling here on the side of Spooky Ghost. We likely are gonna see game number 2 going over to Bronze 6 unless miracles happen, and unfortunately not today. Bronze 6 taking the series 2-0 tonight.
The memes win! The memes! But yeah, they played it pretty much to how we predicted. Definitely going in with the Stitches, gorging in, taking the portal back out, taking the hero as far away as possible. With the Tyrande following up with the stuns very, very nicely. Without that stun, a lot of those players might have been saved by the Anduin heals, but she definitely followed up quite nicely, and Greymane just pumping out that damage.
A much closer game in game number 2, though, if you look at those deaths, 9-5 this time, and Spooky Ghost actually able to get some structures in game number 2. So, I mean, all in all, really fun series to cast. I was really excited to see the Stitches Medivh meme come out here. Yeah, let's hit up the captain on Bronze 6, see if they want to do an interview. So if you want to jump into the NGS, one of the lobbies in there, we can look to pick up the captain for an interview real quick.
Okay. Man, oh man. I think, honestly, though, one of my favorite plays from that night was, like, the Sonya leap away into the leap of faith. Literally just flew across the screen. We had to move our mouse to follow.
Chat saying carried by Kira. No, I think the Medivh did a beautiful job in this game. I would give MVP to him as well. Those portals and shields were on point. Okay, we do have Danny joining us here, captain of Bronze 6, playing the Stitches in the last game. How are you feeling after that nice 2-0 sweep tonight, Danny?
I'm a little upset for a couple of reasons. Juji is leaving us for Korea, and
Yeah.
I have been just in tears the entire week. So, but no, the win was very, very, it felt very well. We ran the Stitches Medivh because Juji wanted to run a meme comp, and I said, fine, we can run a meme comp.
Yeah, I heard a little bird whispering to me saying, you know, depending how game number 1 goes, we might throw some memes out there for you. So we were looking forward to game number 2 after you guys picked up the win there, and you didn't disappoint, that's for sure.
Yeah, the kidnap comp, right? It's a fun little comp to run.
We also have Smoogie joining us here. Smoogie, how are you feeling after that nice 2-0 sweep?
I felt pretty good. I kind of wanted to go Gaslo the second game, to be honest with you, but I mean, when they let Diva through, we just kind of had to take it. But yeah, pretty good.
Let's talk about game number 1. We had Smoogie on the Leoric, and we were kind of saying, I feel like Leoric was the MVP of that game. Your entombs were beautiful, really setting up the team fights. Even if you weren't getting kills off them, it was enough to force Spooky Ghost to blow a bunch of ults to get their team out of there into safety. How long have you been playing Leo? Is that a typical pickup for you, Smoogie?
Yeah, it's one of my more comfort picks. Because as far as bruisers, like I can play just about any of them, but Leo's just kind of like one of my favorites. It pretty much just ever since that janitor skin came out. Yeah, no, I just like Leoric on Tomb. It's just really good wave clear. With Entomb, it's a 50-second cooldown, so you pretty much pop it, pretty often. So it's safe to use it like just on one person anyway. So. Plus, with the damage mitigation from the E, it's just too much, especially with the 3 DPS they had. It's just like, it's just really good. It's just too good of a hero.
Yeah, no, I agree. One of the funnest things about playing a Leoric is you don't really have to stress about the Entomb ult landing it or not, because it's on such a short cooldown that even if you miss it, it's up again so shortly that you can just go for it. Game number 2. So this Stitches Medivh comp, is this something you guys practice a lot?
We practiced it last night for about 30 minutes. But in those 30 minutes, we won 2 games. We went 2-0. So we felt pretty confident tonight running it.
Yeah, no, it definitely looked like you guys were well practiced. Spooky Ghost, though, did quite a bit to try and counter the plays there. Garrosh starting to save his tosses for when you gorge someone. So once Garrosh kind of figured out what your strategy was there and he was saving those tosses, how did you go about how you were going with that engage?
Yeah, so I asked Kira, who was on the Medivh, to portal me in versus other things, but we were trying to portal away from the garage. Unfortunately, it was either a Sonya or a Gary to gorge. But no, Eric with the K did a great job to figure out, they're just going to gorge somebody and walk away. So he started tossing me back. But even with that, I had the portal to get away, but I just had a ton of stuns. There was one fight towards the end of the match where Anduin light bombed, and I'm not sure how we lived, honestly. But I think we killed 2 people. But no, the comp is a fun comp to run. I mean, doesn't matter if you're in the bronze tier or master tier. It's just like, it's super toxic, and our team thrives on toxicity.
I don't even, like, that doesn't even surprise me because I'm pretty familiar with Smoogie, so not
Yeah,
even surprised.
It's completely fair. I'll live for the memes, honestly.
Our only goal is to make teams delete HOTS at the end of the match. That's what we're going
I
for.
keep threatening them that I'm just gonna first pick Nova and just like AFK somewhere. I keep threatening them.
Let's talk a little bit about the bans that you guys had in these drafts. We did see Stukov getting banned in both these series here. Can we know why you're banning out that Stukov?
I watched some games of Spooky Ghosts, and Little Wolf plays a really good Stukov. So I wanted to make sure we take away a comfort pick for them, and it seemed like Stukov was a really comfort pick for Little Wolf. So we wanted to just pull him off of a hero that he's good at. That was the ban essentially for that.
Yeah.
But we only had one targeted ban for Spooky Ghost, and that was it.
So the Gazlo in the first game for the ban, was that just because Gazlo's good now, or
Gazlo's super? I mean, I'd rather go up against D.Va than Gazlo, honestly, because Gazlo's just really, right now I think he's annoying.
So we don't know if Spooky Ghost has a Gazlo player, or
I think Gazlo is such an easy hero to. It's like Johanna as a tank, right? You just drop turrets and don't die like Juji does. But it's a really. You had 4 deaths. We had 5 deaths. We have 5 deaths as a team. You're 4 of those deaths.
Well, I mean, somebody had to cue them all away when you tried to.
You were 80% of our team deaths. Anyways,
I sacrificed myself for you, and this is how you treat me.
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead if you have more to add there.
No, I think Gazlo's really good right now. After the rework, she's really strong. Or he's really strong, and I would rather go up against D.Va than Gazlo right now.
All right. Salvaje, do you have some questions for this teams?
You answered most of them, but I did have one question. I'm kind of new to NGS, so I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what season are you guys in as a team together? Do you guys play all the time together, even outside of like NGS or competitive league? Just want to see, like, because the synergy was just so well done throughout the entire team. I'm just curious to know how long you guys have been playing together.
Kira, CRT, and I have been playing for 3 or 4 years.
Oh wow!
And we picked up Ferret and Smoogie. NGS ran a combine before season 10 started.
Yeah.
And they did really well. And I said, hey, Ferret and Smoogie are two of the guys that we need to grab. But if you're ever in our Discord, it is a really lighthearted Discord. Everyone makes fun of everybody. Everyone's laughing. The only rule we have in our Discord is to make fun of Smoogie and have a good time.
I think I'd like that Discord.
It's
Really awesome.
I get pretty poorly. I'm referred to as the degenerate, and I'm not gonna lie, I fully embrace it. I keep trying to get them to do like really, really stupid comps, and sometimes they'll do it. Most of the time, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
But,
Smooch is a big believer in ABBA Zag, which doesn't work.
Well,
And
it's the truth, man. It's the truth. Okay, if only our bot lane, aka the lane that Danny was in, just didn't die like 20 times.
yeah, well, you were Abathur and died 3 times as Abba, so it,
Look,
no.
Okay, look, this is semantics. Okay,
Have you had
I do
anyone? Have you had
Sorry.
anyone come in to coach your team or anything? Or are you guys just working together?
We actually had a prolific coach come in and tell us how bad we are as a group. And they, I'm not sure what pronoun he goes by or it goes by, really helped us a ton with comms coaching. I think we all have really good mechanics as a group, but he pointed out, like, you guys can do this, this, and this, and up your game. And I took a look at last season's games in season 9, our first season in NGS, versus this season, and we are lights out better this season than last season. Now, a lot of that is due to the fact that we picked up Ferret and Smoogie, and we moved Kira and CRT to DPS. So we all have to find roles, but really the coaching of Not Paradox is head and shoulders. You know, you get way more out of your money than anyone else.
Oh,
if
so
you're looking
it is Paradox coaching you guys then?
yeah, he did a really great job. So the problem is with Smoogie, you need like 5 or 6 like lessons from Paradox where people would, but no, like we've really
outed me out and just random shit like that.
oh come on.
I have a review, one replay, and this is the thing. This is what happened.
No, but we run.
You know what happened though is I was told to meme more. That was actually some of the main advice I got, and well, it was probably one of the few pieces of advice, but that's the one I took the most.
I think he said don't die more.
Actually, no, because I think our tank died a lot in that game.
I don't
Well,
think so.
if it makes you feel better, Smoogie, Paradox was in chat for that game and was saying that your diva is really good, and when they let you have it, it was kind of just like, they let it through.
Yeah, I did feed though. Honestly, to be fair, I actually really did feed. But
Hey Jazzy, let me give you a tip. If you give Paradox $100, he'll go into any Twitch chat and tell everyone that you play a really good diva too. So
Chat saying lay off Smoogie a little bit. You guys are going too hard on him.
we love the Smooge. We love the Smooge.
So Smoogie is moving at the end of this month. What does that mean for your team going forward?
no, I'm still gonna play. That's
play
my
on the
plan
ping?
right now. Yeah, I'll play with ping. I think ultimately, like as an off lane, like because it's not super skill shot based, right? Like if you're DPS, like you're Chromie and shit, like 200-300 ping, it's gonna be awful, right? But as a bruiser, technically, since you're pretty much just staring at the other teammate clearing a wave, and then you're just causing mayhem in the backline whenever you can, based off of what you do. I think with the ping, it shouldn't be that terrible. I just have to get used to it.
Chat's
You know,
asking
it's-
who's going to Korea. That is going to be Juji, aka Smoogie.
Yeah, I'm actually a mail order bride. So
He's
Have
a
you
virgin.
ladies seen 90 Day Fiance in reverse?
No.
We're gonna see
Okay.
it right now when Smoochie leaves.
So essentially, a really older rich lady paid for Smoogie to come to Korea. So
Well, I knew Americans
Yeah.
were desperate to get out of the country right now, but I didn't know it was that bad.
yeah, but Smoogie, you have to quarantine for what, a month? How long is your quarantine?
I have to be quarantined for like 14 days.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're
a 14-day return policy.
they're very strict
Pretty
there.
much. I had to figure out whether they wanted to keep me there or not.
Yeah, I did watch like a news segment on how strict they are with quarantining and like all the checks and everything that they have to go through once you get there. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I get tested Wednesday. I get tested when I get there, and then I get tested like 2 more times or some shit like that.
Well, at least
That's a lot
you'll
of Q-tips up your
Yeah, a
nose.
lot of yeah.
at least you'll feel pretty confident that you don't have it. So, or
Yeah,
that you do.
exactly.
Either way. All right, let's get into some shout outs here. Is there anyone you guys would like to shout out before we wrap up the interview?
We want to shout out Kira, CRT, Ferret, our other members of our team. I really want to thank Spooky Ghosts for playing with us tonight, and both of our casters that did a wonderful job from what I'm being told. Jazzy and Salvaje, my favorite Jazz and my favorite Salve. Yeah.
You got me, Sal.
We have a conspiracy theory that no one wants to cast us because we are horrible people to interview, and it turned out to be true.
Nah, I had fun. This was a fun interview. You're all good.
Yeah, this is a blast.
Good.
Well,
Well, pass the word because everyone else hates us.
if that's all you guys have for shoutouts, we'll wrap up the interview here. But I really appreciate you letting us cast your game. I wish you the best of luck in the rest of season 10 of NGS. And it was such a pleasure to cast you guys tonight. I'll make sure to say you're a good team to cast if anyone asks.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Have a fantastic
Thank
night.
you.
Have a
a
wonderful
good night.
night.
All right, let me get Salvaje back up here.
Hey.
That was fun.
That was such a blast.
All right, let me get our cameras all set here. Ah, perfect. I love when it just works.
Isn't that great? I know my camera always messes up everyone's setup. Logitech Brio, sorry.
All right, so let's get into some shoutouts for you. Where can people find you, Salvaje?
So people can find me at twitch.tv/Salvaje Gaming, and I stream Monday through Saturday from 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Heroes of the Storm. You can also find me on Twitter at Salvaje Gaming, where I post a lot of memes and jokes. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Have a lot of fun where I'm at.
All right, I just wanted to say thank you for coming to co-cast with me. Always a pleasure. I love co-casting with you. It's just really easy and the flow's excellent. In terms of what I have going on and just the ladies of Heroes of the Storm in general, this weekend, Sunday, October 18th at 12 p.m. Pacific, we are doing a charity stream in affiliation with NGS. So if you want to come out and help the Girls Gang Squad ladies raise some money for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, we will be having a day-long tournament with a ton of wonderful people, all ladies from the Heroes of the Storm community coming together to raise money, again, for Breast Cancer Research Foundation, as October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you want a little bit more information, let me just do my charity command in the chat. Make sure to check that out. And also make sure to hit that follow button if you like casted Heroes of the Storm. That's pretty much all this channel has going on these days for now. So yeah, other than that, that's going to wrap it up for me tonight. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday for this charity tournament. Oh, also, if you didn't know, the casters were announced. It is going to be Slexia and I, as well as Not Paradox and Murda, casting all of these games for Girls Gang Squad charity tournament. So great casters, great group of ladies, great cause. Make sure you come watch. Other than that, have a good night, guys. We'll see you Sunday.
Good night.